Ladies and gentlemen, inductee Scoop Howard. He was called Scoop because when he fell with such might and force that he scooped up the turf, mud, rocks, or whatever was in his path. Scoop Howard played 3 years for Albertville as a running back under Coach Hoyt Levy. During his last year, 1933, he weighed 190 pounds, and that was big in those days. In 1933, the Albertville boys came up against what was perhaps the best ever team fielded by Guntersville. In a write-up of the Guntersville team in the Guntersville newspaper, it lauded its players in general, but heaped special praise on a couple of them, for they had each made unassisted tackles of Scoop Howard. The 33 Aggies, the only team to score on Buddy Beard and the unbeaten Wildcats of Guntersville, was a 12-6 Guntersville victory. Howard accepted a scholarship offer from the University of Alabama, but he lacked 1/2 credit getting his high school diploma. He then had brief football stops at Birmingham Southern, a junior college in Mississippi, and Ole Miss. Bama was playing Ole Miss in baseball when Hank Crisp spotted Scoop. Within minutes, the Ole Miss coaches pulled Scoop over to the side and told him that he would not be eligible to play for them unless he started over as a freshman. And if he did that, Alabama wanted their money back that they had spent on him for summer school. The Ole Miss coach had another plan at what is now Southern Mississippi. A former player of his was the coach there, and he might take a chance on Scoop, since that school did not play Alabama. Well, the first 2 years at Southern, he played running back, but after a knee operation, he played tackle at a weight of 220 pounds back in 1939. Here is Coach Hoyt Levy, former Albertville High School coach, and some of the men who played for him at Albertville. On the front row, kneeling left to right, Dee Isbell, Wayne Dixon, Jackie Morgan, Pete Garrett, Vernon Moultrie, Bo Smith, Boy Stone, who was later an assistant coach to both Howard and Wells, and then Pete Casey. On the second row, Maldo Johnson, Troy Mitchell. Mitchell was a longtime county commissioner. Paul Dalton, Glenn Hearn, Hoyt Levy, the coach, Rufus Floyd, L.P. Dixon, who was a longtime sheriff in Marshall County, Russell Garrett, who was later a coach at Guntersville and Albertville, J.J. Benford on the end there, the former principal at the time Hoyt Levy was coach, and Mr. Benford also was the newspaper man in Albertville. On the back row, George Lang, Belmont Weir, Scoop Howard, Fred Hearn, Kelton Dindy, Ben Robinson, Andy Childs, Paul Thompson, and Millard Moon. After coaching stops in Mississippi and Fort Payne and also in the military service, he became the head coach at Albertville in 1947 and 1948, record 13-3-3. Howard resigned to take over the family business. His first order of business was to contact his former coach at Southern Mississippi, who put him and Vernon Wells together, the next Aggie coach, and in 1974, Scoop was inducted into the Southern Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame. In 1948, here is Coach Scoop Howard coaching his last game, a victory over Guntersville before 5,500 fans down at the Wildcat Stadium in Guntersville. In that 48 battle, here are the starters for the Albertville Aggies. At right end, Glenn Chandler. At right tackle, Jimmy Frank Smith. Back of him, number 50, Bobby Ledbetter. Right guard is Clifford Reed. Back of him, 54, Paul Thompson. Center is Kyle Davis. Back of him is Junior Abercrombie in number 55. Left guard is Joe Hunt. And at left tackle, Travis Hunt is number 36. And back of him is number 66, Irby Jean Kemp. And at end is Frank Reed, number 37. Back of him is 43, Gary Ledbetter. Now we get a better look at the coaching staff, the players again, plus the coaches. And as we view the coaches left to right on the screen as they come across there, there's Scoop. Seemed awful relaxed for this big game. Coach Alton Miller, his assistant, and his other assistant, Boyce Stone. Again, those coaches, as we view them, left to right, it's the big man is the head man, Scoop Howard, Alton Miller, and Boyce Stone getting ready for the 48 battle. The game was still scoreless in the fourth quarter, and things heat up. On an Aggie offensive play, Clifford Reed, according to his brother Frank, gets into it. He gets ejected from the game. Frank said Cliff was always getting into it. Captain Travis Hunt, number 36, checks out the penalty, trots back to the huddle for the Albertville Aggies, and watch this first play following the penalty. Described by a Guntersville player, Robert Baker, Frank Reed caught a funky 1 in 1,000 pass. Then, 4 plays later, Irby Jean Kemp goes off left tackle behind Travis Hunt. A big victory for the Aggies, 7-0. Guntersville's only loss of the season. What a way for Scoop to close out. Ladies and gentlemen, inductee Scoop Howard. Accepting for Scoop Howard his son, Tom.
I wish my father could be here with us to accept this award, but on his behalf and on our families, we thank you for this honor.